Hello, my name is HoboWolf, and I'm doing something quite different today. Well, as you might see from my channel, I like to create video game things. So yeah, I've been making this game. It's called Tranquil Beast, as you can see here, on GameMaker. I was originally making it in Unity 2D, but I felt like that was the wrong platform for this sort of game. And so I moved to GameMaker because I felt like this would be a better platform, or better, whatever, to make this game on. It's just when you can sort of see it for yourself when you sort of see the games that are made on GameMaker. So yeah. Anyway, onto my game. It's very basic at the minute. I'll just show you an example of what it's like. Let it just load up. So this always takes a while. Let's see where it's done. So, oh crap, I should have set up face cam. Oh god damn it. Anyway, here's the first thing of the game. It's the starting screen, I guess. It's very basic. It did the little fade thing, as you can see. Oh, you can't really see it, but as you might see, it says start. Press start to play, but you might be like, but on the keyboard, what is start? Well, I'm not using a keyboard, I'm using a gamepad. But if I unplug my gamepad, it says press enter to play, and if I plug it back in, press start. So let's use the gamepad. So it's sort of basic at the minute. You walk around, you're doggy, yeah, so that's the game. But it's very basic at the minute. I'll go through all the concept stuff later, but I just want to sort of explain the basic mechanics of the game. So, as you can see, there's two types of deer people. There's the bad people, the bad deer. These are called the corrupt deer. And then there's the sort of normal deer, the innocent deer, the good deer, whatever you want to call them. And as you might see in the top right there, you have a bar. And if I was to kill this, actually not this, I don't want to kill that. If I was to kill the innocent deer, the combat in this game is very complex. But yeah, it's something that I'm gonna refine. Like I want to get combos and stuff, but that'll take quite a while to learn. But I've just killed this deer, and you just saw in the top right, my pink bar just went up. That means I'm getting more and more corrupt. If you've played Fable, it's a similar system to that, where if you do bad things, you become worse, and you end up looking like a devil person. Yeah. But if I was to kill this deer, so if I was to kill this bad deer, there we go, he's dead, I get a good stuff. So it's like Fable in that aspect, where you get good and bad. It's something that I like to implement in all my sort of games. Like I was working on a game before this, I cancelled it because it wasn't fun to make. But it was like an RPG, and it was like 2 worlds, and like if you like do something good in one world, it would be bad in the other world, and they have to choose a world. And yeah, I like to implement them into all my sort of games. But depending on how good or bad it's called, the good is being called tranquil. So if you're good, you're tranquil. If you're bad, you're corrupt. So if you are tranquil, you end up looking into a different looking wolf. I'll put an image on screen. That's what you end up looking like if you are tranquil. And if you choose to be corrupt, you end up looking like this sort of wolf. It's all like big bad and stuff. These are probably going to change in the future. I don't know. I'm not too fond of the tranquil wolf. But yeah, they'll probably change in the future. It's just the sort of basic designs for now. And before you ask, I've done everything in this game on my own. I've done pixel art, I've done code, although I had to learn a lot of GameMaker, like using tutorials. And this is a good time to shout out Heartbeast, probably one of the best tutorial people on YouTube for GameMaker. If you're gonna start using GameMaker, definitely go to his channel. If you think you know what you're doing with GameMaker and you just want to see some advanced stuff, go to his channel. I'll put a link in the description, maybe on screen if I'm bothered. But he's my favorite tutorialist person. I followed his tutorial, his RPG tutorial, for like gamepad movements and stuff, just basic stuff, and I bought his online course because I knew that he was a reliable source. He was like £90, but it got reduced to like, for me it got reduced to like £7 or something, I don't know. But he has a bunch of courses. He's just released a course on pixel art. I'd highly recommend you get them because they're very helpful. Like I'm using his platformer one at the minute to make it boss in my game. So yeah, definitely check out his channel. Yeah, I can't really say that much else, but it's really good. So as I was saying, when you're the Tranquil Wolf, you turn different and stuff. When you're Corrupt Wolf, you turn different again. But you get like different sort of abilities. So when you're Corrupt, you're more powerful. You have boosted health. You have boosted attack. The game sort of becomes easier. Now that's because you're choosing the easy route. So in the actual game, the normal deer right here, these would be just like in World of Warcraft. These would be yellow enemies. These would be enemies that don't attack you unless you attack them. Whereas these here, the Corrupt deers, these are the ones that attack you, the more powerful. So by choosing to kill all these, you're taking the easy route, and so the game will become easier and less challenging because of that, and it might become dull because of that, because you're becoming stronger and stuff. And that sort of, I'll go into detail of what that means later, but I'll talk about what happens when you become Tranquil. So when you become Tranquil, the game gets harder because you're choosing the hard route. You're choosing to kill tougher aggro enemies, and you're not very strong yourself because the Tranquil Wolf, it has a lot of abilities, like magic abilities, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but it's not strong, physically strong or defensive itself. So I'm going to show you one of the abilities that you get as a Tranquil Wolf. So if I press X on my gamepad, it'll do a little howl, there's no audio yet, and he'll call some birds. So at the minute, he only calls birds, and they just sort of swoop in, do damage, and then run off. But in the actual game, you'll be able to call upon basically any animal. So you can call upon a burr. It's going to be like Hearthstone RNG, where like you call upon a random animal. This will have like a bar on it, so you can't spam it. You'll call upon a random animal, and it could be a bird, really powerful, really tanky, or it could be a little fox, like sneaking up behind the enemy and killing them, or it could be a flock of birds. So yeah. So that basically sums up the different forms and what you get. There's also a sprint. The animation's pretty bad, I'm gonna have to change that. But yeah, is there anything else I can show you real quick? I don't think so. I was trying to have like a dash attack. I thought, okay, let me explain the third form, the almighty third form. We're going in some dangerous grounds right here. Well, okay, so the third form, you can be either Corrupt or Tranquil, but there's a neutral form, and that's where okay, if you see in the top right, you can see that there's pink and blue. In the actual game, it'll be, so if I was to kill this right here, instead of gaining that pink, you'd lose blue until the point where you've run out of blue and then you gain pink. It'll be like that in the game, if you understand that. But, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so if you manage to do that throughout the entire game, you keep your bar neutral, you keep it so it's like, you're not Corrupt or you're not Tranquil. That's like the hardest way of playing the game, because you're having to micromanage how you play the game. So because of that, you sort of get a lot of benefits. Like, the game becomes more about platforming. You can dash attack, you can wall jump, you can grab onto ledges. It becomes, so each different sort of form will, I'll put an image on the screen about the neutral, what you look like. I personally, if I was to play this game, or my game, I'd choose the neutral, because, I don't know, it seems like the coolest form. But like each different form has its own story, so if you choose neutral, it'll be more about like being an independent wolf, a lone wolf as you might say. If you choose Tranquil, it's about helping the animals of the forest, which explains why you call upon them. And then if you choose Corrupt, it's about spreading corruptness across the forest. And to counterpart the the calling upon like wild animals, as a Corrupt wolf, you'll be able to call upon like imps or fiends or whatever to fight you in battle. They're really weak, but they just sort of crowd control, I guess. And as the sort of Tranquil or neutral wolf, you'll come across environments like this, where environments will change completely. So the peaceful wood thing, peaceful forest, has turned into a Corrupt forest with Corrupt bird thingy. So if we go back here, you see that the bird is normal. Yeah, there you go. So yeah. The environment changes as you play the game, so if you're Corrupt, you're spreading the corruptness, so you'll enter sort of peaceful lands, and you make them Corrupt. But if you're sort of Tranquil, you try and purify the corrupt environment, if that makes sense. So if I was corrupt, it would be my job to purify this environment. And if you're neutral, you are in the same situation as the Tranquil Wolf, except you're not trying to purify, you're just trying to survive. And this goes on to my next point, that the game will have its own sort of like story for each sort of form. So the neutral form will focus about like there's a whole thing where you meet a pack of wolves, and then at the end, I'm not going to do any spoilers in case it's, yeah, whatever. You meet a pack of wolves, and then you sort of interact with the environment. You can befriend people, I guess, animals. Whereas if you're Tranquil, you help animals, and they become your allies, and you can call upon them because you're like some deity. And then if you're corrupt, everyone hates you and they don't like you, and you're basically choosing the dark side, which people would probably like, because people like to be dark, emos. So as you can see in the top left, I also have health. I'm just going to demonstrate the death thingy, the death animation. So if I press enter, you can't actually die yet, but if I press enter, I've programmed it so you die. Oh, I have to take away health. Hold on. Here we go. I'm dead. Yeah, there we go. So I think that pretty much sums up my game. There's one last thing I need to show you, and it's gonna turn on music, so this is gonna be the last thing I show you. I've been trying to work out a boss, like a sort of basic boss. It's just sort of like an alpha boss, so I have something to demonstrate. So here's another mechanic of the game that I need to sort of explain. So if you choose to be Tranquil, more corrupt enemies will appear, whereas if you try to be corrupt, more Tranquil enemies will appear. So depending on your opposition, more of them will appear. What was I going to say? So that applies to bosses. So if I was corrupt, let me walk over to the right. No, if I was Tranquil. Oh crap, music! Please stop! Please stop! Please stop! Okay, so as I was saying, if you're Tranquil, that was a boss, but I've not really programmed it yet. You just sort of walk up to it. If you're Tranquil, that boss would be corrupt, and if you're corrupt, that boss would be Tranquil. So that's what I'm trying to get. And if you're neutral, it'll probably be both. It'll probably be a Tranquil boss being turned into a corrupt boss. So that's basically the sort of game at the minute. It's very basic. Like, all you do is walk around, you can sprint, you can talk to birds. There's a lot of things I need to fix, but I've not really been bothered to fix, like the fact that those birds appear behind you. When you die, your shadow still exists. The fact that you're walking... yeah, I guess that might be okay, because it's going to be collision box anyway when we walk into them. But, yeah, there's a lot of things that I need to just do. I'm just trying to get the main stuff down at the minute. I've had to take a break, because school's annoying. So, yeah. And you might also realize that, like, there's also a trailer on my channel for this. That's got nothing to do with like the actual game, like in all honesty, because I had to create this for my school basically. Oh god, that cursor must be annoying. I had to create this for my school because well, I didn't have to. Well, I did kind of. It's like a school project thing, and it was been an idea in my mind for ages, and I thought I might as well make it my school project, and I'm sort of developing it even further. So I just made that trailer for the presentation day so I could have like some video footage to show off. Because that looks fancy when you got dual monitors, one with the trailer, one with the game. So yeah. Is there anything like major I need to talk about? Yeah, not really. So I'm just gonna sort of talk about how I made the game basically. Anyway, as you can see, I've got like a whole folder full of like crappy work, art or whatever. Got my game concept thing that I had to do for school. So basically talk in detail about the game. Difficulty, yeah, this is what I want to talk about. So yeah, this is what I put before, where if you choose to be neutral, you're taking the hard route, basically choosing hard. If you're choosing to be Tranquil, you do a medium, and then easy is corrupt wolf. And this is another point I wanted to sort of talk about. Game Maker's a really good thing. I just want to say that. A lot of my friends, before I started this project, were like, Game Maker, isn't that like Scratch? And like, they have a point, because I mean, it can be drag and drop. Like, if you go on some kind of crappy, like, See, this is drag and drop, right? No, it's not. Okay, that just failed. But you can do drag and drop like here and stuff. That's why people might like have a sort of bad interpretation of it, or the fact that it's called Game Maker doesn't really sound like it's like friggin' what's it called? Unreal Engine or like Unity. It kind of sounds basic. No, there's a voice break. But it's a really good thing, especially if you're starting out, and if you think of yourself as sort of intermediate in a way, it's really good. Like, you can either choose to sort of like start out basic, doing drag and drop, you get the sort of hang of it then, or you can just go straight into code like I did, because the language for Game Maker it's just a Game Maker language. It's got no specific language, but it's sort of like bits from other languages. Like, hold on, let me just create a script. So, here's my script to free Vecful. Oh god, I've not actually opened this in quite a while, so it's gonna take a while to come back to me. But if a general if statement in like C# would be like, I don't know, if let's create a variable first. So it's like alpha Mitch, and remember, kids, remember to remember to use camel case, because that's always important. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I've just created a random integer variable. In C# you'd be like that, but that doesn't apply to this. It just sort of recognizes what you've done. So yeah, you just create variable, whatever you can do. You can program it like C#. So I can be like, if alpha, actually I want to change this to 0. I don't want to add that. If alpha Mitch equals 0, and then you can do this, alpha Mitch plus equals 1. So that's just like, if it's equal to 0, make it 1. And yeah, so you could do it like that, or you could do it like, if alpha Mitch, you can actually get rid of the brackets. Okay, you can, I'm pretty sure you can do it like this. So you could I don't do it this way, so it's very unfamiliar to me, but you can do it like, then alpha Mitch equals 1. Yeah, you can do it like that, and like, you don't have to follow the regular rules of coding or just things in general. You can just do it however you want. Yeah, let's get rid of that. I don't want that. So like, Game Maker is a very good tool, and not forgetting, so I create all my sprites in Photoshop. It's good for doing like sort of animations, but okay, let me show you something. Game Maker is super good for animations. Like, I remember doing animations in Unity, and I actually just wanted to kill myself. So okay, that looks dodgy at the minute. Let's slow down the speed. Literally in Game Maker, all you have to do is create a sprite sheet and then import it into Game Maker, and then type the just say the dimensions of the sprite sheet, and it automatically does it for you from your images. And not forgetting, if there's something bad about it, you can go in and you can edit it in Game Maker instead of having to go through it. So that's why Game Maker is a really good thing. And I've not paid for Game Maker at all. I'm still using a standard edition. I'm probably gonna pay for it eventually. Oh my god, what's up with my voice today? I'm probably gonna pay for it eventually. Because I mean, I have respect for those Game Maker peeps. And I wanna I wanna have more benefits and stuff, but you can just create a full game from standard Game Maker, and yeah, try out Game Maker. It definitely, if you want to get into creating games, definitely try out Game Maker. It's probably one of the best things to do. And also, if you're a bit worried, like, oh, Game Maker, it looks like Scratch 2.0, just look at some of the games that were made on Game Maker. Like Hotline Miami was made on Game Maker. I think Undertale was made on Game Maker. Nidhogg, Nuclear Throne. So yeah, it's a good thing. Music's a pretty tough thing for me, because I mean, I like music. It's good. It's a good thing. But like, I'm not a musician. I'm not an artist either. I'll talk about my pixel art for a bit. My pixel art is just, pixel art's one of those things where it's like, when you start doing it, you can't stop because it's so fun. Because I mean, a lot of people have a good intention of what something should look like in their head, but they don't know how to draw it because, like me, they can't draw. But like pixel art allows you to just sort of like put that because it's just make that because it's like pixels, and it's like you already have a bunch of like inspiration because games. That tail is really bad. Because like games allow you to sort of like see how it gives you like in-depth stuff. Like when you play a lot of Smash, for example, you look a lot into the frames and stuff. So like pixel art's a really good thing. That's what I wanted to say. But anyway, back into music. I'm really like worry yeah with music because I mean I'm not a musician. I started off trying to make music on friggin' FL Studio. I think that's it. That failed because yeah. But like I just wanted to make simple music, which was quite effective. Like yeah. So I found a software called FamiTracker. Let me try and show you it now. Okay, so this is FamiTracker. It's like a chiptune software where you create chiptunes. And because I can't like create I can't create like full things, so like this is a good like sort of stepping stone for me. It would take a while to learn. I'm still learning it. I've been learning it for like months. I've not bothered to like get anywhere with it, but like I'll just explain. So you got the keys on a keyboard like C, G, F, stuff, A, and this is them. These are the different keys on a keyboard, and these are the different instruments, I guess. And if I press play, you see that it scrolls down and it recognizes these different notes. So yeah. What's this bit? It's pretty, but like I wanted like a fully. I wanted like I didn't want chiptune from a game, but like I've resorted to chiptune because like I personally really love chiptune. But like I was originally going to use royalty-free music, but I felt like I wanted to go all out on this game and I wanted to make everything myself. But if you want sounds, this is where a good thing comes in. There's a really good website. As I was saying, if you want sounds, there's a really good website here where you can create sounds. So that's a sound, and they're all 8-bit sounds or 16-bit if you want. There's an option to change it. Yeah, you can randomly generate them, or you can just do whatever. This is a really good like place to start off. Like if you, I use this a lot. But it's a good place to start off. The URL will be in the description. It's called this. It's a weird name. SFX. Oh, sound effects. Yeah, whatever. You can download like a client, I think. But yeah, it's a good thing to start off if you want to make sounds. So the game is coming along fine and dandy. It's not really made much progression since that trailer thing because I've not really been able to sort of progress it. But that's basically it. Anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out Heartbeast. Like seriously, he's very, very, very good at what he does. And you should definitely check him out. He's a very good tutorialist for Game Maker. There's also a lot of other really good Game Maker tutorial people on YouTube, like Shaun Spalding. I hope I pronounced that right. Royal Den Studios, RealTutsGML, I think. Oh god, I can't remember any of these, but yeah, they're all really good, and they can definitely teach you Game Maker very well. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate that you spent this much time with me. I'm sorry. Have a nice day.